Mary Slessor and the twins of Calabar. In Nigeria long ago, particularly among the Ibibio and other ethnic groups in the southeastern region, twins were often regarded with fear and superstition. They were believed to be an evil omen or a curse, bringing misfortune to their families and communities. As a result, both twins and their mothers were frequently cast out or killed shortly after birth to ward off perceived danger. This practice was deeply rooted in the traditional belief systems before outside influences, like missionary work, began to challenge and change these views. Long ago, in the thick green forests of Calabar, a quiet region in Nigeria, there was a deeply held belief that twins were a curse. The people believed that one of the twins was possessed by an evil spirit, and so when twins were born, they were abandoned in the forest, left to perish. The fear of the unknown haunted the villagers, and this tradition had been passed down through many generations. In 1876, Mary Slessor, a brave Scottish missionary, was assigned to Efik land in Calabar, Nigeria. Mary was born into a poor family in Aberdeen, Scotland, in 1848. After working in a mill as a young girl, she became inspired by the stories of missionaries in Africa and decided to dedicate her life to helping the people there. She sailed across the seas, arriving in Calabar in 1876, determined to spread kindness and change dangerous customs. As Mary walked through the villages, she quickly saw the fear and sorrow in the eyes of the mothers who had borne twins. These mothers, forced to give up their children, wept silently as they watched the babies being taken away to the forests. One day, while exploring the jungle, Mary stumbled upon a pitiful sight: a newborn twin boy left to perish. Moved by compassion, she rescued the child and took him to her mission. This marked the beginning of her crusade against the brutal tradition. The villagers believed that the presence of these children would bring misfortune to everyone. To them, it was the only way to protect their homes and families from evil spirits. Mary's heart ached for these innocent lives. She could not understand how people could abandon their children, and she vowed to change this tradition. With her fiery red hair and determined spirit, Mary Slessor began to speak with the chiefs and elders of the villages. At first, they didn't understand why this foreign woman cared so much about their customs. "This is how it has always been," they would say. "We must protect our people from the evil spirits." But Mary didn't give up. She would walk miles through thick forests to rescue twins who had been left to die. She brought them back to her home, cared for them, and raised them as her own. Slowly, she earned the respect of the villagers. They saw that no harm came to Mary or the children she saved. The evil spirits they feared never came. The people began to question their beliefs. One day, a woman from a nearby village gave birth to twins. As the news spread, the villagers prepared to carry out their tradition. But this time, Mary Slessor stood in their path. She held the babies in her arms and spoke with a voice full of strength. "These children are not a curse," she said. "They are a blessing. No evil spirit has taken hold of them. Let me care for them, and you will see." The people hesitated but decided to let Mary take the twins. Days turned into weeks, and the village remained peaceful. No disasters struck, no misfortune befell them. Slowly, the people began to see that perhaps Mary was right. Perhaps the fear they had carried for so long was not real. Mary's impact was immeasurable, and in 1892 she was appointed the consul of Okoyong territory by the British Consul General, Major Claude MacDonald. This was a significant milestone demonstrating the English government's recognition of her invaluable contributions to the region. Over time, Mary's message spread across Calabar. The killing of twins became less common, and eventually, it stopped altogether. Mothers no longer had to fear for their children. The forest no longer echoed with the cries of abandoned babies. Mary Slessor became a beloved figure in the region. She continued to live among the people, not only rescuing twins but also helping to settle disputes, teaching people to read and write, and sharing her wisdom. She treated the people of Calabar with respect and love, and in return, they called her Ma and welcomed her as one of their own. Because of her bravery and compassion, Mary Slessor changed the fate of many lives in Calabar. She passed away in 1915, but her legacy lived on. To this day, the story of the woman who saved the twins is still told, reminding everyone of the power of courage and love.